That's a great segue because I wanted to find out the last time you were with us. I didn't drill down deep enough into your story, your history, and I wanted to find out where your parents came from. I know you were born here. Tell us a little bit about your parents, your history getting here to Tampa, and your childhood.
Well, they came, my mother lost her parents. She was born in Cuba. Her parents were from Asturias, Spain, her parents, and her grandmother was Irish. Cuban Irish,
wow.
If you can imagine. Her name was Anna Fowler. And my mother, for years kept saying, Anna Fowler, Anna Fowler, Anna Fowler. I thought it was one name. And I realized later that it was Anna Fowler, which was my great-great-grandmother's name. My father came from Spain, and they met in Tampa. And they came here to work in the cigar factory. My mother came with her brothers, or my uncles, and they were like almost my father. So, and I was born in Tampa. And the first book that I wrote, which was Cuban Breadcrumbs.
Wonderful book.
It's a story about that first generation of kids that were born here of immigrant parents. And the struggle that we had, because we talk about, Latin. Well, Latin, there were Sicilians, there were Spaniards, and there were Cubans. The Cubans were the majority. And we didn't get along with each other. There was a war a revolutionary war in Cuba at the time against Spain. So and of course the managers of the cigar factories were usually Spaniards, and the workers were Cubans. So labor management plus a revolution in Cuba. So they didn't really, and the Sicilians, they didn't like anybody. So
kind of kept to themselves?
Yeah, pretty much. If you thought about dating a Sicilian girl, she was disowned by her family. And I'm talking about a long time ago.
Sure.
But what happened? The story is that we all went to public school.
Yes.
Forced.
Yes.
And it brought us, the kids don't have any hatred or anything.
Correct.
They don't have any whole idea. The kids began to
intermingle.
And before you know it, we began to fall in love with each other. We began to get married. And then, of course, when we went to the high school, then we started rubbing elbows with what we call crackers, which were people that weren't us.
Right.
And then, of course, at Jefferson High School, we all became dragons.
Right.
Nobody was a Spaniard, nobody was a Cuban. We were dragons.
Nice.
And you had Bobby Curry's and Bobby Payne's, and all of a sudden the Anglo community, which was not Anglo. A lot of them were Germans, and there was a lot of Jewish people.
Yeah. Sure.
So all of a sudden, by the time public school spit us out, we were Americans.
Yeah.
That's great.
What
story.
a great
story. Yes.
That's a bell ringer.
That's how it works.
And if that's not your history teacher giving it to you right there in first person I format, because he lived it.
Yeah.
That's the essence, I think, capture the essence of our show.
The history of the United States, I always joke about it, is a history of people coming here from someplace else.
Right.
Getting angry because people come here from someplace else. Then it depends on which is the last generation. Of course, I always do a joke about when Columbus got off the ship here, he thought he was in the Indies, and he called the people here Indians.
Yes.
He only missed it by the Pacific Ocean, the Western Hemisphere. And so, that's why that statue's like this. He's saying,
He's still looking.
Where the hell am I? I mean, he was lost. But